Okay, next example with how to use a database, querying data, um, using Access to select the ISBN, title, and publication date from books. So with this, we want to go to books. Um, these are the fields that we're actually going to select, the ISBN, the title, and the publication date, and we want to display that separately. So our steps going through that, we want to verify the data. We want to go ahead and select a table for the query, which will be books. We'll go ahead then and populate these fields within the query design that says specifically ISBN, title, and publication date. And this is what those results should look like. Now let's go and use Access and do that. I hope I can remember what we're after. We want to go ahead and create query design, books, add that, close our show table dialog box, and I think I want to go ahead and grab books, ISBN, and notice that the field and the table are populated and that the show is checked on. Next field is title. Next field will be pub date. I should be able to go ahead and run the query, and that's what the query ends up looking like. Let's go ahead and close this. We don't want to save the changes. Let's move on to the next query. On this query, example 3, which orders are being shipped to Florida? So we want to do some specific selection, some specific criteria selection here around the ship state. The reason might be from a business perspective is let's find out how many orders are going to Florida. If we're selling a lot of stuff in Florida, let's market more there. Or if nothing is going to Florida, let's stop the marketing there. Okay, so that's the idea behind that. And this is the particular table that we're looking at. Okay, so let's go down to example 3. Check out the data, which orders are being shipped to Florida. Okay, let's design the query. I'm gonna skip some steps in the instructions because you've got those down now. In the design query, we want to select the customer number table from orders, order date from orders, and then the ship state from orders as well. So we're just going to use the one table. Now under criteria, let's select the specific information that we're looking for, and it needs to be exact. Access, Oracle, any of the big databases, they will only select information that is exact. If this were a small lowercase FL, it wouldn't match as perfectly, and you would have no query results from it. So this is what those results should look like. Let's go into Access, and that is from orders, create, query design, from orders, add, close that. I want to go ahead and grab, what was it? I think, I want customer number, order date, and ship state. Okay. Customer number, was it order date, I think? Let's see, order date, and then ship state. And under ship state, I have criteria. So I will select FL within quotes, and let's run this query. And that's what the query ends up looking like. Very good. Very good. Close this. Next example, example 4. Okay, example 4. Let's go ahead and we want to group some information. So how many, the question is, which states are we actually shipping to? Rather than go through a long list, we want to go ahead and use a grouping function, a summing function. So this is what we're looking for specifically. This is what we want to group, the ship state. With that, we want to go to example 4, determine which states orders are being shipped. We'll determine which states orders are being shipped to. Okay, and we're looking at ship state within orders. Okay, now this is the deal. Select a table and field, select sum totals, enabling you to use a group by function. It's called a group by function. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and select orders, ship state. This is the group by summing function. So follow these steps. You group by. This gives you those query results. Okay, Now let's go ahead and do that in Access. Let's see, so what are we after? Order shipped by, okay, got it. All right, so we want to create a query, query design, orders, add that, close that. Now all we're looking for is ship state. That's great. Totals, that's where the group by function is. So we want to grab the group by function. All we have to do is select it, and we should be able to run the query. And these are the states that we actually ship to. And once again, if we're looking at this, we don't have to go through and look at the long list. The grouping function will just go ahead and tell us which states are all included in that list. Okay, so let's go ahead and close this query. The next one is probably the most important of all. We'll close that. All right. The next one is querying through multiple tables. This is the most useful, the most practical piece of this. So we want to see which book titles each customer purchased. Okay, so we have customer and books, and we have to go clear through the database in order to be able to put those two pieces together. We have a customer table. This is that customer ID number, that customer number. And we have the customer number. Oh, that should go right to, let me correct this. It should go right to there. This one goes right to there. Okay, so we have customer number to customer number, orders to orders, order number. We have the ISBN to ISBN. Okay, so that's the way that looks. We'll scroll down, query 5, or example 5. Again, this is how we're going through this database. We're pulling something from here and something from here. The first and last table selected. Again, we're going to go ahead and select now a number of tables to query through. Now, the deal is this. If you get something from customer and books, you have to include every single other table in the selection criteria, okay, in that table selection. Okay, what we want to do then is go ahead and grab the customer last name, customer first name. That answers these questions. And then books from books.title. The query results should look like this. Okay, now let's go ahead and do that in Access. All right, so create query design. We need to get books, customer, and you can just hold down the control button. So again, books, hold down the control button, select customers, select order items, select orders, add that. Now Access just lays it out in a kind of a strange little goofy sort of format, first come, first serve essentially. That's what those relationships look like. Now what we want to do is go ahead and select, what was the first one we wanted to select? Customer, I think. Customer last name, probably. Customer first name, and then books title, I think is what we wanted. So what we were wanting, book titles, correct. That answers the question. So if we go to run, that's our list. So we have last name, Gerard, Cindy, cooking with mushrooms. Okay, and just to grab that. And then that concludes, we're at about 9 minutes. That concludes, first of all, we looked at the database. We verified information, dataset view and design view. This is what your design looks like. This most closely relates to your schema of the table. Example 1, selecting everything. Example 2, selecting only specific fields to display from a single table. Selecting specific fields from a single table around which orders are coming or being shipped to Florida. A criteria, it's basically a criteria is what we're after. And then next one is example 4. Oh, we're grouping data within example 4. Which states are we shipping to? And then finally, in example 5, we're using several tables together to pull information from customer and books, and including the route, if you will, from the beginning to the end. Okay, so with that, I think that completes the using the databases part 2. So if you have, hopefully this is helpful, and thank you very much.